Today we're going to be going over how to find cash buyers using a title company. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. If you've been struggling to find cash buyers for your deals, today's episode is tailor-made for you. We're deep diving a strategy that a lot of investors overlook, and that's using a title company to find the best buyers in your market. Stick around till the end because you're going to find out exactly how to leverage title companies to find cash buyers, how to utilize this information effectively, and how to have a conversation with a title company. And actually, I have a student of mine that made this call and we recorded it. Now, it didn't go like planned. He even said at the end, he's like, hey, you know, this was probably one of the toughest calls I've had and it still went well. So you're gonna get to see a live instructional video at the end of this as well. So let's dive right into first things first. What is a cash buyer and why do you need one as a wholesaler? If you get a deal under contract as a wholesaler and you wanna sign it, you need to sign it to a cash buyer. A cash buyer is normally a flipper that either has all the money in their bank account where they can go put it and buy the house cash, or they borrow hard money. That's why you need a cash buyer, is because without the cash buyer, you can't wholesale your deal. Hey, before we hop in the next tip, I want to invite you to my masterclass that I'm doing this Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This masterclass, we go over how to do my process of finding buyers in your market, then going to get them deals the painless way. Check it out, absolutely free. It's at painlessflipping.com. Link is in the description. Check it out. Love to see you there. So why would you use a title company to find cash buyers? There's a lot of reasons why you'd go to a title company, but let's first address what a title company is, because a lot of you might not even know what a title company is when you're getting started in real estate. A title company acts as a third party in a real estate transaction, and they facilitate the close, they make sure the title's clear, and you know, they give you title insurance, so if you purchase a property and there's an issue, they can take care of it and help you out with that. So that's why you need a title company, and a lot of people don't use title companies and they risk buying a home that isn't insured or they don't know the title's clear, but most buyers go through a title company just to be safe with their purchase. So the reason why we use title companies is because they know who the big players are. They know who the real buyers are. Now, if you go out and find your own cash buyer through other means by just meeting people at meetups or talking to people on Facebook groups, you don't know if you're talking to a wholesaler that's acting like a cash buyer. You don't know if you're talking to a cash buyer that's done 100 deals or hasn't even done one, but he's acting like he has. Title companies can vet those people because they can say, hey, this buyer actually does several deals with us. He closes fast. He's always on time. He never backs out. That's why we use title companies. They have direct access to the top buyers, and most importantly, it's free. You're just using networking and calling to get those top cash buyers. So how do you go get these cash buyers from title companies? It's as simple as calling those title companies and telling them that you're a new investor in the area, or you're an investor that's been there a while and you're looking to connect with the top buyers in the area because you have some deals you'd like to wholesale. You just have to be transparent and tell them what you're doing. So I actually have a student of mine, his name's David, he's awesome. He called the title company in Florida and asked them for their top buyers. Now he told me on this call, we actually recorded, I'm gonna show it to you guys, but he told me that out of all the title companies he's been calling, this one was probably the toughest one, and actually the lady gave him a hard time about giving him their buyers. You can watch how he reacted. He did a great job. If this is the worst experience he's had so far doing it, then you definitely want to see how he navigated it and how you can do it. And not only that, but if that's the worst, there's really nothing to fear. So check this out. This is how David asked for a buyer from this title company, how to navigate it. And I promise if you watch this and you try it, you're gonna go get buyers, because title companies want you to succeed, because if you do deals with their buyers, they're gonna make money. Everybody eats, everyone wins if you work in that network.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Listen, in my head, I swear I responded to your text and I realized now that I didn't. We have had a crazy month and then the storm has not helped. How can I help you?
I'm sorry. I've been called.
Heather with
This is
Howard.
Heather. Okay. Hey, Heather. Thanks so much. Yeah, I don't think we've spoke yet on the phone.
No, we haven't.
Nice to meet you on the phone.
Yeah. Just to tell you, answer a couple questions. Jason and I are both members of Sub 2. We joined probably about a year ago because we were getting recommended so many times, and
Wow.
wanted to know exactly what he was teaching, because as you know, the way people interpret what's being said is not always
Oh, yeah.
you see the comments, it's not always exact, and we wanted to know what he was teaching, so we
Sure.
can help guide people as best as possible. So we're not in there. We're not in there for the same reasons everybody else is. It was really just to give support when needed. Obviously, get more business and just be able to figure out what we could do better based on what you guys were being taught.
Okay.
Everybody likes to do it a different way. The basic answer to your questions are it can be done. We can do it. Jason's an investor, so he started this title company because he was tired of titles saying no, that's illegal, or no, we can't do that.
Right.
He wanted somebody to think outside the box. So we can do sub 2, we can do wrap, we can do novations, we can do double closings, we can do assignments. We do it all. I will be fully transparent with you because of the volume that we receive and the amount of new people that have decided to hop into this industry. It is not always done gracefully.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's not. I wish I could have the system ironed out, but there are so many people. I had a double closing that was a seller finance or subject to
Subject
wrap
to.
with
Oh,
6
a wrap.
assigners.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, those can be tricky.
It
What
definitely.
what rate were they asking for that on the wrap, if you don't mind me asking?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
We don't prepare a note and mortgage. We usually, there's a transaction coordinator company that will do it, or we'll connect somebody with the attorney. But in Florida, you don't have to be attorney owned. So we're not. But that means that we can't prepare documents. So we don't get involved in terms at all. We can't, otherwise we can get in trouble. So I couldn't tell you. I see all kinds of things. I see 18%.
Yes, sure.
So it varies. So.
Well, just so you know, thank you so much for calling. And to tell you a little bit about myself, I am sub 2 member. I've been a member for about 2.5 years. But to be honest, it's not my main strategy for acquiring properties. You do occasionally come across creative deals, especially, and you've experienced it, right? Where people are trying to force these things into creative deals and they're not really creative. And, they, sad to say, sometimes they just don't know what they're talking about. And there's a lot of people that are in the free group as well that are probably trying to reach out too. But you do have, unfortunately, paid members at times that will call. So yeah, I'm in sub 2, but yeah, so that's, I joined to learn that strategy and to get my feet wet in that area. But we do mainly acquire cash, but it is awesome that you do creative because that just opens up the pool even more. But yeah, so I've been, I'm up here in New York on Long Island. So I've been doing some fix and flips over here and continued to build that out. I had a property that I was honestly, I was holding a property, and then I just sold it because this isn't the most friendly place for that. And it took like 5.5 months to get the tenants out, and that was with the eviction. So it was kind of, it was like, yeah, we like New York for flips, and we'll probably, so just to tell you, long term is to hold in Florida, but we're kind of going through a transition where we're working our way to fix and flips. So for the next 3 to 6 months, we're mainly going to be assigning deals that we come across. So I was reaching out. We love to, talk to title companies because they're highly recommended, through investors. And then, a lot of times the buyers are highly recommended and that way we could kind of sift through the BS, like you said. And that's why I loved everything you said, because we've experienced, and I mean, I've done 10 months straight of like dealing with a lot of that nonsense, to be honest. And that's why we switched to doing things this way, where we reach out to only a few buyers in each market and work directly with them. And it's proved very well in New York. It's proved well for my partners in Utah and Michigan and other parts of the country. So now we're kind of just bringing that to Tampa. I'm a little bit newer here, but, we're still bringing some skills and, we've done everything. So I know a lot of times people say like they're investors or they're not just wholesalers, but we truly do, a good amount. And so I was reaching out basically to see if there's anybody you might want to recommend or put me in contact with that is the real deal and buying fix and flips. We're in Tampa, but we, the greater area of Tampa, Pasco County, Pinellas County.
It's a common question to request, what you're asking for from title. And there's nothing more than I would like to do than to connect people together, because we obviously have quite a bit of contacts. Here's the problem. Our loyalty is to our investors.
Sure.
And title companies have gotten into trouble because they connect. Let's just say you bring a buyer, right? So now that buyer's in the database and he's a great cash buyer.
You don't want to bring him nonsense.
And then I tell Bob, I'm like, hey, Bob, I got this great guy. Well, now he's bypassed you, and now you're mad because we do not get involved in sharing contact information. I will tell people there's a couple of Facebook groups, which not everybody enjoys social media, but there are a couple of Tampa Bay real estate investor groups. And almost, I won't say all, but I'd say a good 65% of the people that I see comment in there are people we've worked with. I'll see people that are asking for deals. I'll see people that are saying, I have this deal. And then the messages are going back and forth and contacts are being made. I recommend that just because I can say with certainty that we have successfully closed a lot of deals with the people that are in there. And that's really the best I can do because obviously I'm trying to protect our reputation and integrity, because it's great for me to connect you with somebody, but your buyer gets connected with somebody, you're upset now because you've lost out on that assignment fee. So.
Right. Yeah, I totally understand, and I can respect that. Well, can I ask what Facebook groups you might recommend?
I would just, if you search, this is going to limit you to the Tampa Bay area, but you'll notice that a lot of the buyers, they will do business around the state of Florida.
Right.
So depending on where you're trying to target, but right off the top of my head, if I search, so there's Tampa Real Estate Investors, Tampa Real Estate Investor, Tampa Wholesale Property, Tampa Bay Real Estate Investors. I'm going to be honest with you. I would just search Tampa Bay and Investor and Wholesale, and any of the groups that come up that don't join the ones that have 30 people. You're obviously looking for the one, like when I look at one of them, the first one is Tampa Real Estate Investors Network. It has 6,000 members. Join them.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
Have a couple thousand people.
And I appreciate it because I know I'm like kind of calling out of the blue here and like asking for buyers, and don't mean to put you in any awkward position. And just to let you know a little bit about what we do, and maybe I could send something over in an email that kind of details how we do things a little bit. And if maybe you could forward that to them, and if they want to reach out, they can reach out, so that at least we could detail how we're a little bit different from what they may be weary of, which I get because we're weary of the same things, locking up something, you say it's 5K in rehab and it needs a full gut job, or the ARV is totally off or inflated. So I totally get that. That's why we literally talk with our buyers to dial into their buy box and see exactly what they're buying and how fast they need to move things if they're using hard money, so that we can make sure they.
Obviously I'm privy to the challenges because we have these deals on a repetitive basis.
Sure.
I have to stop things somewhere.
Yeah, no, please. Yeah, sure.
I can't facilitate connecting people. I can't do that part of the job. We're just badass at clearing titles.
I hear that.
I can guarantee you, but I can't connect you with buyers, unfortunately.
Okay. So would I be asking too much? Would it make you uncomfortable if I sent something over and you shared that, or that's just not something? I definitely don't want to make you uncomfortable.
You're welcome to send me something. I have a folder that I save things in case something goes wrong and somebody asks me for something specific. Full disclosure, that email folder probably has 600 contacts in there, and I'm very, very weary for the same reason I told you a few minutes ago as to why I can't connect. But you are absolutely send it. And again, I make no promises, but
sure.
I do always try to facilitate and bridge gaps when we can.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you reaching out. And yeah, it was great talking with you.
You are very welcome. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Great call, bro. Excellent job. Very interesting. She's just like, oh, we can't connect people because I didn't really understand her reason. It didn't really make sense. She said we get mad or something.
That was the most tension I've seen so far. On the spectrum.
Yeah, not that wasn't bad. Like, she was really nice. She just didn't want to share it. Thanks for watching the video. I hope that watching David navigate that tough situation talking to title company, the way he did it was great. I hope it helped you, and I hope it inspires you to take action to call title companies, get buyers, and start your wholesaling journey and get some deals.